Hello everybody, welcome to the opener of Season 12 for the Drivers Racing League and the first full season to be commentated and broadcast to you guys here on the Zach RC channel. I'm your host Zach, I'll be bringing you all the action from tonight's season opener in Bahrain. I'm really looking forward to this one, hope you are too. We've got our first driver out on his first outlap now. It's Fergus in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, if you missed the team straw last week, all the teams have been mixed up, so we have brand new lineups for this season. Some lineups are the same but have just moved over teams. Some of them are quite different. Fergus is at Alfa Romeo for this new season. Khaled in the McLaren for season 12, and we also have Ethan in the Mercedes. These three are all already out of the pits and embarking on to head towards their first timed runs. So here is Fergus then making his way around to start his first time run. We'll take you on a lap of Bahrain as we go. Larkon now out of the pits, as well as JB Racer now in the Haas for the season. Fergus now makes the start of Sector 3 for the first time. So here he comes now through the last corner. And as you guys are, I'm going to ride on board with him and take you on a lap of Bahrain. So he comes now down the straight, DRS opening up as he makes it across the line to start his first time lap. So it'll be nice and smooth to the left hand side of the track, heading down towards turn number 1. Being careful of drivers on the right hand side making their way at the pit exit. There are none for the time being. Into turn 1, want to try and get as nice and close to the curb as you can. Make sure not to spin out if you go too deep. On the curb slightly for turn 2. Turn 3, that's that slight kink of a right hander. Making our way down towards turn number 4 now, staying on the left side of the track. Moving inside, don't want to get on the curb too much. We'll be nice and careful, throttle on the exit of turn 4, heading towards turn 5 now. And through turn 6 we go. Oh, he's lost it slightly there, but he's alright. We'll be careful not to go on those curbs too much, otherwise you might spin out. Going through the right hander here. And making his way now towards turn number 10, if I'm not mistaken. Nice, being careful here, there'll be a lot of late braking opportunities through there. Going down the next straight now with the DRS open. 2 DRS zones on the Bahrain circuit, making his way now towards the end of that corner, end that straight into the corner, and coming towards the end of sector 2 now. Just a couple more corners left to go. Taking it nice and easy here out of sector 2. 1 minute 5.1 so far, not too bad. Though for a banker lap, it's definitely looking good. Making his way down the penultimate straight here for the first time on the time runs. And through the right hand for the last time, back towards the line. What does the first lap of the season look like in qualifying? It's a 1 minute 26.7. Decent time for our drivers to try and beat Khaled, his first one to have a crack at beating said time. It looks like he was a bit faster going through sector 2 than Fergus was. So he makes his way through the last corner now towards the line. What's it going to be for Khaled in the McLaren? He comes over the line. It's a 1 minute 26.8. So very close, but not close enough. Here comes Ethan in the Mercedes. He sets a third place time at 1:27.3, so a bit off the pace. Look around now for people who are making their way out for their next attempt. Here comes JB in the Haas. He set a decent sector 2 time. He could be on course for a good shot at pole position or provisional pole early on. Makes it to the last corner. In that Haas machine, it's going to be tight. I think he definitely could do it. Open up the DRS here, down the straight towards the line. What's it going to be? It's a 4th place, so 1 minute 27.2. Larkon went second. There goes Curtis in the Mercedes, who takes pole position. 1 minute 26.6. Great stuff. One driver in particular keeping our eye on here is the Alpine of Touch Me Pope, the current Drivers' Champion, who of course wrapped up the title a couple of races early before we headed to Brazil, which is the first race we saw from the DRL on this channel. He's making his way around now in hopes of defending his title with his brand new team. He's now at Alpine for season number 12. Through sector 2, it's a bit slower there. A 1 minute 6 for Touch Me Pope, who of course is, because when we looked at everyone else, they've set 1 minute 5 times. Of course, this is still just a banker lap, so not much to worry about, but I'm sure he's going to try and pull out the big guns later on in qualifying. If he can get in the top 10, potentially on medium tyres, as he's known to do in the Takeover Racing League, then he may not have a problem with that. But towards the line he comes here. It's the slowest time yet, a 1 minute 28.6. I have no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind he's just taking it easy on this first lap. There goes Paris, T32, winner of the last race of the season in the season 11 for Alfa Romeo, setting the pole time 1 minute 26.63. So that's 200ths in front of Curtis here. Very close here. The top three separated by less than a tenth. I'm at the top four now because there goes BJ up into third place. A 1 minute 26.68. So still relatively close. Looking through here. Here comes Alex towards the line. What does he have lined up for us? It's P4, 1 minute 26.6. Looking around now, waiting for the next couple of drivers to make their way towards the line. Our next driver on the way is Blaze in the other Alfa Romeo. Will he be able to outdo his teammate? Of course, Fergus set 1 minute 26.7 the first time around. He's making his way out front of the lap, but it looks like Blaze is making his way into the pits, and this may have been just an installation lap for him, essentially, as there's no time set. Whilst it's been going on, Zach Sherman in the Aston Martin, one of the debutants today, is qualified, or is up in 7th place right now. Definitely holding his own with those guys up front. As of now, 11 of the 20 runners have completed a lap time. Here comes Khaled now back towards the line. He was 2/10 up on his sector 2 time. Does he have enough to take a higher place? He does. P5. The top 5 now separated by less than a tenth. I'm waiting for the next driver to make their way around now. It's Websy who has an invalidated lap, so I have no doubt that he'll be pitting this time. Here he comes now through the final corner. And towards the line, he's staying out. What's the time going to be? It was 1 minute 27. Not fast enough and not valid either. So it looks like right now everyone who has set a lap we're still waiting on 8 drivers to set lap times. Khaled and Lucky are still the other ones currently out on the track. Fergus is on his out lap, as is JB. Tenki in the other Alpine is on his out lap as well, as is Luigi Sven, as is Dan 00A in the AlphaTauri. Khaled's on his way around, but he's 6 seconds down, so I get the feeling he'll be pitting this time. Fergus is making his way through sector 1 now. There comes Lucky. What's it going to be? Yep, 5 seconds off his sector 2 time. Lucky now making his way through the last corner and back towards the finish line. No improvement. He's coming into the pits. Webbsy's making his way through sector 3 for the last time, but his time's already far off, so he comes into the pits. I think he's in sector 2 as of now. Makes his way to the end of sector 2. He might be able to set a decent sector 2 time. A 1 minute 5.5 as he goes over the line. I believe I saw a purple mark there. I'm not entirely sure, but I may have just seen a purple. So he may have enough to try and crack pole position here and take it from Paris T32. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's just the Aston Martin letting a couple of the guys on laps through. Here comes taking it toward the line. What's it going to be here? It's a 1 minute 27.0. Puts him in 10th place. He's at purple sector 3 though, so he could be on for a very strong time next time round if he goes for it. The closest driver to the finish line right now in terms of coming to the end of a lap is Alvar in the Ferrari. Because he's on his out lap, so he's got another lap until he gets himself going properly. Here he comes now towards the line. We've got one of the Williams cars making their way around. It looks like it might be BJ who's coming around to start his next time run. Here he comes over the line. Does he have enough to try and snatch pole position from his teammate? We'll have to wait and see over the next minute and a half. 7.5 minutes left in the session. It's still Paris 232 on pole. 7 drivers yet to have set a lap. Pope's on his out lap here, so of course he set the slowest time last time around, so he could be in with a good chance. Here come the 2 Alpines, one behind the other here. Through sector 3, Tinky's definitely set a slower time. He may let his teammate through here. Nope, looks alright for the time being. BJ is midway through sector 2. He's a couple hundredths up on his sector 1 time. So let's see what it's looking like when he comes through sector 2 here. It's going to be very tight. Oh, that's 2/10 up. Looking very good here. Very good time. Could snatch pole position from his teammate, but could make it a Williams front 2, even if he doesn't make it. If he can set a faster time than Curtis's best lap in the Mercedes, then he might have a very good chance. Here he comes now towards the line. It's going to be tight. What's it going to be? A 1 minute 26.2. And by 4/10, BJ takes pole position over Paris 232, who is making his way around now. He was down slightly on his sector 1 time, but that could change. He's 2/10 up on his best run. And we could be about to see pole position get snatched right back by Paris 232. There he comes now. The last corner towards the line. It's going to be a tight one. Here he comes. He's making. He's going down onto the left side of the track. And it didn't quite make it. 1 minute 26.3. Is it safe to say moving over to the right side of the track may have hindered him slightly? Regardless, we keep on pushing. Pope's making his way through here. Unsure of what his sector 1 or sector 2 times were, so we have no idea what he might be setting here. But he's rounding the last corner. He's in a 1 minute 20 here, so he's got 3 seconds to make it to the line here. Does he have enough? I don't think it's going to be enough for him to take pole, but he definitely improves up to 13th place now. So just over 5 minutes left to go. BJ still remains in P1. Zach Sherman's gone 3rd in the Aston Martin. And now it's 4th as Caleb makes his way over the line. The time's improving here, going further and further. It's getting quicker and quicker as Curtis quickly dropping back. He was in 2nd. He's now down to 5th. I believe one of the Williams, that is BJ making his way around towards the line, and he comes into the pits. So right now, 18 drivers have set a lap. 2 more we're waiting on Websey and South Place, both set times. We've got 4 minutes to go. Paris making his way towards the line. Most likely he's going to pit this lap. Yep, in he comes. Pope's on their medium tyres, so this run definitely hasn't worked out how he thought it would. He's the only driver to set a time on mediums, if I'm not mistaken. That does mean he'll be starting on mediums for the race, though. If he's not in the top 10, his strategy may not pay off as much. Pope is known to be very fond of the alternate strategy. So the majority of drivers in the pits now. Lucky went about 100th up on about 600th up on sector 1, so he could be with a good chance here. Here it comes now. On to the DRS straight. Here to the left-hander he comes. And here he comes now towards the NSX2. Will it be enough to improve? It's 3/10 up, so he's got a very good chance here of potentially taking pole position. If he has a good sector 3, he might be able to do it. And he's got his Haas teammate JB Racing on his outlap, who's coming in quick behind him, but not too far back. through the last corner in the hash. Here comes Lockie Lambert towards the line. What does he have for the front runners? He's in 5th place now. Could that improve? He makes it towards the line. A 1 minute 26.27. Lockie takes pole position. And I guarantee you there was no element of luck in that lap. He's done a very good job there. Fastest lap and pole position as of now with 2 minutes left goes to Lockie Lambert. A lot of drivers making their way out of the pits now, looking to try and change that potentially. But no, Lockie Lambert on pole position as of now. That could change though. Right now, only the 2 hash drivers are currently on timed runs. But almost everyone's making their way out here, going for one last attempt. So we're going to have a lot of chaos here in the last few minutes of the session. We've got a minute and a half left to go. Lucky man may be forced to just sit there and hope for the best. Hope that no one beats his time late on this session. JB currently midway through Sector 2. Get the feeling this may be his last real shot at a lap time. Towards the end of Sector 2, what does he have in store? He's 2/10 up on his last nice purple Sector 2. Is it enough though? He may get a decent tow of his teammate down this penultimate straight. For the last corner, he's gone a bit wide over the curve there. He's had to correct that. Does he have enough to take pole position? Comes towards the line. It's not going to be enough, but it's no improvement. Well, there is an improvement, but no improvement in the way of position. So he stays 10th. 1 minute 26.8 his best time. Almost everyone on the outlap now. Salve making his way towards the line. It's pole position. We've just managed to get that in there. Salve now. It took him ages to set a pole time, but he's just done it. A 1 minute 26.0. He's gone right for it with only 7 seconds left in qualifying. Everyone's going to get one last chance here. Here comes Alex through Sector 3 for the last corner for the last time in qualifying. Blaze is throwing in the towel here for the rest of the session. Alex might have been able to snatch it from his P5 in the for Aston Martin man. Nothing left. And we wait for the next driver in Sector 3. It's Tinky Winky, who was 3/10 up on his last run. But I doubt it'll be enough here. Unless he has a good Sector 3, I doubt he'll have enough to take pole position away. Might be able to improve. He comes towards the line. It's P8. Ferguson's down on his Sector 2 time, or his best Sector 2 time. So I doubt he has a shot at taking pole position here. Courtney Goblin now 3/10 up on his best run. Oh, one of the Williams cars has spun out. Pope is a whole second up here on his last run, so you get a very good shot at taking pole position away from South Blaze in the Alfa Romeo. Towards the last corner comes Pope. Does he have a chance? He's got a very good shot this time. I reckon he could have a very good chance taking pole position. He comes towards the line. What's it going to be? It's got to be a 1:25.8. Incredible stuff. Blaze has been beaten, and Pope is now on pole position. The reigning Drivers' Champion, showing his mettle, and takes pole position away. Almost everyone's finished their times here. Zach Sherman into the pits, and that might just settle it here once Lucky makes his way through. But it's going to be pole position for Pope. What a great qualifying session that was. And it's pole position for the Alpine driver, who first race of his new team, current Drivers' Champion as well. He'll be looking to try and defend his title, but the race could be a lot harder. We've seen the force of some of these drivers in qualifying, and the race could be a whole different case entirely. But for now, I'm sure he's pleased with finishing on pole position. Great stuff. We'll have a look at the qualifying results here before we go to the race. So it's Pope on pole position, followed by Blaze in second place, Lucky third, BJ fourth, Khaled fifth, Paris in sixth, Alex seventh, Zach Sherman eighth, Alvar ninth, and Tinky in 10th. So that wraps up your qualifying for the time being, and we shall see you in a few minutes for the start of the race. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Racers Driving League for this season opener of Season 12 here. We're just about to go on the formation lap for the first race of the new season, the Bahrain Grand Prix. In just a moment we'll take you through the starting grid for this Bahrain Grand Prix. It should be a very exciting one. So Pope starts in pole position, managed to take pole position in the late stages of qualifying. Blaze starts in second place, set a very good time in quality, East lines on the front row. Lucky in third, BJ in fourth for Williams, Caleb 5th for McLaren, Paris 6th in the other Williams. It's Alex and Zach Sherman starting 7th and 8th respectively. Aston Martin duo on row 4. Alvaro on the Ferrari 9th. Tinky 10th. New teammate is the driver's champion. Let's see how he gets on against him. Curtis is 11th for Mercedes. It's Ferguson 12th for Alfa Romeo. Cotney in 13th for Red Bull. Lycon 14th for AlphaTauri. JB in 15th for Haas. It's the Red Bull of Websy in 16th. Luigi in 17th for Ferrari. Then it's Dan in 18th. Huggy in 20th in the other McLaren. So here they come now. The leaders making their way towards the end of Sector 2. And this should be a very, very exciting race. Personally, in the case of winning the race, my money is on Pope, but you can never be too sure in the Drivers Racing League, and I'm not really going to pick favourites, if I'm being entirely honest. Let's make our way through the last corners now are the leaders, and the season opener will get underway. Pope now lining up quite a way in front of his fellow starter on the front row. Here he comes now, lining up in his grid slot. He's into said slot now, as the last of Hack are lining up on the grid now. We now get set to go racing. So everyone there on the grid now. Here we go now for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the season opener of Season 12, and the Racers Driving League is underway, and it's a great getaway from Pope there on the left-hand side. He pulls out in front of Blaze on the way to turn 1. Lucky's up into second. He might try and make a dive in that first corner. He doesn't have enough. Pope has control over the top spot, and he leads through turn 1. Lucky in second. Blaze still on the inside there. He runs third. He's forced to go back up into line, but Pope now pulling away to a decent advantage already. Lucky still back there in third place. There's a bit of contact at the back, and one of the Rebels are around, and that's Connie Goblin in one of the Rebels is out of not out of the Grand Prix. He's got himself going again, but he did have a mighty spin there in the opening couple of corners. And looks like Zach Sherman's fallen through the field as well. There's been quite a few tussles here on this opening lap already, but it's Pope who's risen above the chaos and has fallen. Has managed to make his way into a decent lead, about 0.6 seconds over Blaze. Lambert's back, Lucky back there third. Paris and BJ, for the two Williams teammates, back there in 4th and 5th. They'll be looking to try and get on the rostrum to kick off their season the right way, because Paris as the momentum, if you will. He won the last race of season 11. He might be trying to make it 2 in a row here today. He's already right on the back of Lucky Lambert in the Haas, so might try and make a move on him in the next couple of corners or so. He's definitely closing in. You have to be very careful on that curve with that right hand. You've got to make sure you don't hit it too much. If you hit it, there's a good chance that you will spin out. So pushing forward now, it's still Pope with the advantage. Fergus has fallen back. And there goes Zach Sherman way off the track there, not in the Aston Martin. Not quite sure what's going on with him there. But Pope makes his way in the last corner. He will lead the first lap of this brand new season. Sets the fastest lap at 1 minute 31.3. Decent time to start this thing. So we look at the positions gained and lost here. The biggest winner is Dan, who has gained 7 positions on the opening lap, as has Huggy. He's also gained 7 positions. He started last. He's now up to... He was up to 7th. He's now... Sorry, up to 13th. He's up to 13th. He's just had a battle with like on there. And the biggest loser has been Zach Sherman, who's not the best of starts to his RDL debut here. He's fallen back to 19th. But he's out of the pits now and he's away. So strategy could come into play here for some of these drivers who pitted earlier on. All on a set of medium tyres here. It's back out front here. Pope with a decent advantage. So Zach Sherman already has a penalty for his contact with Websey in the pits. But Pope with a good advantage here to start this thing. Of course, still a long way to go, and Blaze looks to be closing in. Paris on the inside of Lucky Lambert here, going into the right-hander. There we go, very tight, but Paris gets away with it and also avoids anything to do with track limits. He's managed to get away with that big time. And he's away up into 3rd place, and BJ looks to try and make his way through. He's taking a look at the predicted pit stop strategy. We're looking to be pitting around lap 6, but between lap 6 and 9 and around lap 18 to 20 is when we'll expect our second stops. The DRS getting enabled this lap, so that will definitely help Blaze's charge in the race for the top spot. As Touch Pope sets another fast lap, 1 minute 29.9. Lucky chasing Paris on the way down towards turn 1. There is your message from race control. DRS been enabled. Here comes BJ to the inside into turn number 1. Trying to take 4th place away. He will take 4th place away. He's going to have DRS though on his teammate Paris, so he still has to be careful. Rule number 1 in racing, do not crash into your teammate. Here comes BJ. He's going to have a very good run. Will he look to the inside? Nope, thinks better if it stays in line for the time being. Alvar dropping back here. He may have made a mistake and spun out, but it looks like he may have just gone wide or something. Not quite sure. So he's back there in 16th place. Blaze here. He's going to have DRS for the 2nd time on this lap. Here he comes now. It's going to be tight. He's about 6.5 tenths behind. A good exit here will definitely give him a good chance. He's away. Pope was getting away, but not as much now. The gap is now closing slightly. It's within half a second here to go into the left-hander, but Pope gets away. Goes a decent exit. Blaze is still sticking right there with him, still half a second behind. I get a feeling this one might be settled on the main straight if Blaze can stay close enough in that Alfa Romeo. And I get the feeling the battle between Lucky, BJ and Paris will continue here in the race for third place, but Paris is already trying to get away as much as he can. There's of course the second half between him and the top two, Blaze and Pope. So make the last corner and towards the line here, back to turn number 1. Lap number 4 begins, and Blaze is closing a good exit from turn 1. Could see him make a move with the second DRS zone on the lap. Here he comes. He's right with Pope there, but went a bit deep into turn 1. Out. And the straight is simply too short from trying to get close to the second move. BJ still right there with Paris. Lucky still there with him. A large train here going all the way back to P. You could call it P10 if you. Oh, I'm going to cool down in there, to be honest. It's a good 3.2 seconds back to Curtis in 11th place. Blaze now right there with Pope. I get the feeling we could get a lead change at some point as this thing goes on. Well, this battle continues to rage on. I think Blaze may have locked up slightly. That may allow Pope to get away. I doubt he'll be able to stretch that lead as much as he likes because Blaze has the DRS. The gap once again down to within 5/10 of the round goes Pope, the driver's champion around. A poor exit from that last corner. He had to wait for everyone to go through so he can rejoin safely. Not what the race leader would have wanted. He's down to 10th place. Blaze now assumes the lead of the Grand Prix, and it's now 11th for Pope, who finds him out of the points. Spun out there. And his lead draws to an unfortunate end as Huggy tries to go around the outside in the McLaren. He squeezed him very tight there into that last right-hander. Lycon now trying to make a move on Pope. And things have very quickly fallen apart for your former race leader and driver's champion, Touchme Pope. It is now Blaze who shows the way. BJ and Paris now battling. BJ takes second place going into turn 1. Paris will be right there with him. BJ going to slightly deep. Paris could try and make a run on the outside. He's going to have DRS this time. Pope now into the pits. Here come the two Williams cars down the straight. Blaze with a decent 2-second gap now. Pope in the pits, not what we would have wanted to see from him. He's bolted on a new set of medium tyres, and he will keep on going here, but very unfortunate. That potentially could put him right with Zach Sherman, Fergus, and Webster, who are battling in the back here. Keep an eye on this for the moment. Here, to the right hand side now. Where is Pope? Has he already made him back out onto the track? I believe he has. He's already up there in turn 1. Fergus now up into P18. Blaze continues to stretch his advantage now. He's got to be nice and careful here and try not to make the same mistake that his predecessor in the lead did. Paris on the inside now takes second place back from BJ. It's not over yet though because these two are battling once again down this next straight. The general tow will be enough to keep BJ in the fight, and the next DRS zone could finish the job on that front. Here they come now down the penultimate straight. Lucky's behind them, Coward's with him. Yellow flag. And that's like one of the that's Curtis who spun out. Curtis in the Mercedes has spun out, but he's got himself going again. BJ's gonna have DRS once again. Lucky and Khaled and Tingy all into the pits here. BJ very close. The two Williams will be going head to head here down this next straight unless Paris gets away okay. Of course, these two know how to work together and win races. Of course, think back to, I'm not mistaken, think back to last season, in which, or the last race last season, in which BJ and Paris were out front after Pope fell back, and BJ with the strategy essentially not allowed Paris through, but that allowed him to take the advantage in the last 4 laps and take the final race victory of the season. I get the feeling these two we want to mount a title charge. But it's still the Alfa Romeo with the advantage. The field has spread out a lot more now, just to show you the gaps. The gap's about far back as 44 seconds. Back to these bottom 3. Pope's still running back there in 17. This is a good 36.5 seconds behind. The gap almost a second between Paris and BJ. And it is over a second now going towards the detection zone. And it does look like BJ will not have DRS this time round. Paris may have just won this fight. Unless I'm very much mistaken. Nope. No DRS for BJ. He's got to rely on the ERS back and form. But Paris is into the pits. Paris making his first stop of the Grand Prix. JB are now up into third place. It's Blaze with about a 3.3 second advantage now over BJ. Both Paris and Alex into the pits. Paris wants to set hard tyres. Whether he'll try and get those to the end, I'm not quite sure. It does look like that may be what he's trying. Alex onto a set of mediums. So I'm assuming he's going to be attempting a two-stop here. Pope making his way to the last corner as Ethan gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. He's the third driver to get a penalty today. And King Goblin going side by side into the right-hander. Ethan around the outside. They're still side by side on the exit. Going into the chicanes here. It's going to be very tight between these two. Has to make sure not to make contact. Goblin gets the edge. But here comes Ethan again on the inside. That becomes the outside for the next right-hander. Will he try and make it through? Will he get the good traction that he needs off the corner? He does. He's out front for the time being, but there goes Goblin back around the outside. He's gonna be looking in, going into turn number 10. Is it enough? Ethan has a DRS, but Goblin has gotten away. So Red Bull on top in this battle for the time being, but it's not over yet, and we've got to keep an eye in front of them because the Ferrari and the McLaren are very close to each other, as is Lycon, the AlphaTauri, who's just in front of these two. So it could be seeing a seriously interesting couple of battles here for position. As Blaze begins lap number 8 at the Grand Prix. BJ stays out. JB also staying out. Alvar gets a 3-second time penalty here. Off the last corner, Alvar pulling into the pits. No doubt we're looking to set. There he comes now. Will he be able to serve the penalty? I'm not entirely sure. Nope, can't serve the penalty. Alvar onto a set of medium tyres. One of the drivers attempting the one-stop. Sorry, attempting the two-stop. So Pope now in 16th place. So still Blaze now with a 4.2 second advantage over BJ. Then it's another almost 5 seconds back to JB. Who's got Dan for company just behind him in the AlphaTauri here. We might get a very interesting battle down this next straight. Not enough. So he's still going to have the toe down this next straight. And once again, the DRS could be a serious advantage to him. So he comes down towards the penultimate corner. Unless one of these two chooses to pit, we could be in a very exciting battle down this next straight. Both of them staying out. Here we go. This is what we want to see. Dan on DRS, making his way towards turn 1. Into turn 1, Dan. Nice and clear. And that's third place for the AlphaTauri driver. Alright, so here's the order here, the end of lap, midway through lap number 9. So it's Blaze in first place, BJ back there in second, Dan now in third, JB in fourth. That could very quickly change over the coming straights. It's Lycon in fifth and the other AlphaTauri, Huggy in sixth, but around goes Huggy, and there he goes! And that's almost perfect timing, Huggy out of the race. Very unfortunate for the McLaren driver who's doing so well. He was up in sixth place. We've caught him at just the right time, or not really the right time, more the wrong time, but he's out, and that's the safety car deployed. And that is very, very unfortunate for the Huggy Bear, who's now out of the race. Our first retirement of the season, the safety car has been deployed, and this could be the perfect opportunity that Blaze is looking for, because it will allow him to pit without any issue. Into the pits he comes. And he comes now onto a set of medium tyres. I get the feeling that it'd be a stretch, but he could potentially make the end of the race on those. BJ in the pits, Dan in the pits, JB in the pits, Lycon in the pits, Goblin in the pits. Ethan coming in. Paris stays out here. Of course, he's already pitted, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, he's on those hard tyres. He'll definitely be able to get those to the end. This puts him back into third place. Pope maybe at a prime advantage here. He's going to gain a decent number of places. He's back up inside the top 10 now. He's up to P8. Alright then, so safety car has been deployed. And the ladies are forming up behind it now. There's BJ in second place there, Paris in third. And both of those two Williams cars have been headed by Blaze. Overall, in the way of the Williams cars, a very good start to the race. Alright, so take a look at the order so far now that things have been cleared up a bit more after the safety car. So it's Blaze in the lead, followed by BJ in second place, Paris now in third, Tinky fourth for Alpine. It's Dan in fifth, JB in sixth place because he has that penalty. PJ seventh for McLaren, Pope back up to eighth place, ninth for Lycon, 10th for Goblin, 11th for Ethan, 12th for Alva. All three of those guys have penalties. Then it's 13th Lucky, 14th Curtis, who was briefly looking around the outside. 15th is Luigi, 16th Alex, 17th Fergus, 18th Websy, and Zach Sherman in 19th. And of course, Huggy is out of the race. Alright, so we're going to take a quick break here and back with you shortly for the restart. Alright, welcome back to the Racers Driving League here. In just a moment we'll be finding out if we're getting ready to go racing once again. 19 runners still for this thing, and the safety car is indeed in this lap. So now, what will Blaze do on this restart? Will he try and get away as quickly as he can, or will he try and back everyone up and then try and beat a hasty retreat? It doesn't look like he's backing everyone up for the time being. Everyone will be right with him on the restart. Paris is signing up an awful lot, but he's closing back up now. BJ right with him here. He's going to want to get going as quickly as he can. But Blaze has control. But BJ sticking right with him here. He's looking to the right-hand side. I think he might try to go for a move immediately. He can pull alongside, similar to how Verstappen did in Abu Dhabi late last year. Green flag now back out. Blaze gets away well. He's moving across, trying to break the toe here, but everyone's following him here. It's very crazy on the run down towards turn number 1. BJ looks inside, doesn't have enough, can't go late on the brakes enough, but Blaze locks up slightly if I'm not mistaken there. Dan and Tiki now battling for 4th. BJ right there, he's going to have a good toe on the Alfa Romeo, but I doubt it'll be enough to take the lead away. So it does look like it'll be Blaze who takes the early advantage on this restart. On lap number 12 as Tinky moves around the outside and takes 4th place away from Dan. But it's still very tight though, it could still go the AlphaTauri man's way, but he has to back out. JB's right there with him now. So he's the next threat to the AlphaTauri. JB now up into 5th place and may next try and make a move on Tinky in the Alpine. Pope moved up a place on the restart. He's up to 7th place and he's chasing down Dan. He's looking to the JB's looking to the inside of Tinky. He's taken 4th place, easy stuff, as clean as you like, and he's through now. He's a second and a half behind Paris. Not to mention that 3-second penalty he has. So back towards the line here to begin lap number 13. A fastest lap here, 1 minute 29.5. Good stuff. BJ will need to spend the next lap or so getting well back within DRS range. As the two Mercedes further back battle for the 11th spot. Curtis just taking the position. Fergus passing Luigi's found the way into turn 1. So field is mostly stretched out into single file now, and it displays with a decent advantage over BJ. Through sector 2 they come. Curtis now into 10th, battling Goblin in the Red Bull. Here comes Pope here, closing in on Dan. As Curtis goes side by side with Goblin once again into the left-hander, takes back P10 and puts Mercedes back up inside the points. Pope currently in AlphaTauri sandwich as of now. To the last corner they go once again to start lap number 14. It's another fast lap from Blaze. 1 minute 29.1. He's got almost 2-second advantage over BJ. The DRS has been enabled now. And there goes JB looking to try and pass Paris into 1. I do believe that JB has locked up. Sorry, not JB. Blaze is locked up. But I think he's got away with it. He's still got 2.1 second gap. Paris looking around trying to pass JB. Unable to do so, didn't quite have enough room. Lucky battling Ethan now for the 12th spot. He managed to get away with it there. Paris now really falling back from JB. He's almost half a second behind again. 2.5 seconds separating BJ from Blaze, the race leader. Through the last corner they come here once again. 15 more laps to go in this thing. Back to turn 1. Paris now on the inside. Takes back P3. But JB to come right back at him here. He's going to go around the outside if he can. Yes, he does go around the outside. JB back up into 3rd here. Does he have enough to get clear? He does. Paris now back to 4th. Behind him though, it's the two Alpines battling the 2 AlphaTauri. Pope gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and that definitely will help him in his charge back towards the front. Though he could take multiple positions. There goes Dan around in front of him. And that's a yellow flag, and it's Dan in the AlphaTauri who's now spun out here. And Pope gets another penalty. And if I'm not mistaken, that is 8 seconds of penalty in the space of multiple corners. So Pope's charge back towards the front and suddenly he's been hindered an awful lot. I believe he can pit to serve the 5-second one, but the 3-second one will be tacked on until the end of the race. Curtis trying to pass Tinky here. He's taking advantage of the situation. Now puts himself up into 6th place for Mercedes. Great stuff there. So Pope's still there in 8th. You got to feel for Dan in the back. I'm not sure Pope when he's pit. I'm not sure if he has damage on the front wing. We'll have to see here if he chooses to pit. He's got 14 laps to go on a charge here and try and score as many points as he can. He got a bit scrolly out that last corner. He's staying out, so if he does, even if he doesn't have any damage, I assume it's not too bad. And Lycon's want to get away here as Paris and JB continue their fight here for that 3rd place spot. Here they come now. On the DRS once again, JB making that move. He pulls out to the right-hand side. Is it going to be enough? Into turn 4. It is. JB once again there, but Paris trying to switch back here. Never mind. JB is still in front. I do believe they're closing on JB. The gap is 2 seconds. Curtis making his way up into 5th place now. The Mercedes man on the charge here. And Lycon's looking around trying to take 6th place. Tinky's still trying to pass here. And once again, this time it's essentially the same battle here, just with the Mercedes instead of the second AlphaTauri. Curtis in control. Pope could potentially move into P5 should he get past F1 here. Being nice and careful. The racing's been somewhat clean so far. Dan out the pits, having repaired his front wing. He's now on a set of medium tyres. Paris right there with JB through the last corner. The fact that Paris is still keeping up well on those hard tyres against JB on softs. Here he comes now down the main straight. He's got a heck of a run towards turn number 1. And there we go. He sprints back up into P3. But JB will now have the DRS here, so the fight back will begin for the Haas driver. Great stuff here in this season opener. It's JB now looking around, trying to take advantage. He's got DRS. Does he have enough to try and move in late? Nope, thinks better if it stays in line. Yellow flag, sector 1. That's one of the Aston Martins that Alex has spun out. He's got himself going again, nice and easy. That puts him down to 18th place. JB still sticking there with Paris. It could definitely go anyone's way as Websy spun out as well in the other Red Bull. Alright, so JB right there with Paris. Pope now battling Lycon for 7th place. Both of them have DRS. That's going to make Pope's job a lot harder. JB unable to make that move that time. He has to stay within a decent portion of DRS range in order to try and take that 3rd place spot back. What a battle these two are having here. It's been going for multiple laps and neither one of them giving an inch while still giving us insanely clean racing, and it is great to see. Shows that even over this offseason, none of them have lost their touch. Lucky's led the session. I'm assuming that's a disconnection problem here. I'm sure he'll be back with us soon. Off the last corner here, Blaze has begun lap number 18. JB's closing in, but I think it might just be enough to give him a decent chance of making that move out of turn number 3. He's going to be right there with Paris, and with a good exit, he could have a very good shot taking the place back. Paris trying to get away, but it's a fruitless effort because JB on those soft tyres and with the DRS and whatever ERS he has left down this next straight is on the chase, but it's not going to be enough for the time being as Ethan makes his way into the pits. This is around the time we're expecting the last stops of the race. I'm assuming a lot of those drivers who are going who were on mediums are going to make their way onto a set of soft tyres and run them to the end. Yellow flag in sector 1 and Pope's out of the race! What has happened to Pope? It looks like he spun out. I can't quite see if there's any damage or anything on the car. He may have spun it and just hit the barriers, but very unfortunate for Pope here, and that is not how he started on pole. He's the reigning drivers champion coming into this one. Very unfortunate for him. Will that trigger a safety car, or will we keep on going? No safety car. And it does look like Blaze, if he wasn't already on course to take this race victory, is definitely going to take it now. So we now are down to 18 runners in this Bahrain Grand Prix. It looks like it's a fight between the current leaders for the rest of this Grand Prix for the next 11 laps or so. But when will anyone choose to pit? JB may have to pit. Theoretically, he could still run those tyres to the end, but It'll be 17 laps on soft tyres, which really aren't designed to go that long. So BJ still on the chase, but he's only falling back here. JB, it's maybe his last chance. He's got to stay within DRS range here. Paris has been getting away as time goes on. And he's still out of DRS range, only just. He's got to have a great Sector 2 in order to get that back. But I doubt it'll be enough for him. It does look like he'll be out. It looks like he'll be over a second behind. And that'll be enough for Paris to try and get away and potentially closing on his teammate, who's running 2.5 seconds up the road from him. So it's this point where now we are starting to reach the final 10 laps. Blaze had it all to himself out front. Here comes Blaze once again. Through the last corner. He's got 10 more laps to hold on to this thing. Paris is definitely closing in. Now he's got no threat behind him. JB's dropping back. Them soft tyres definitely are doing their job as well as they were a couple of laps ago. They were keeping him in the fight. And Paris now on hard tyres, and that Williams is pulling away. The gap now down to 1.6 seconds. He's definitely closing in. He's got serious pace as JB makes his way into the pits. It's my prediction. All of the guys on soft tyres are making their way in. A lot of guys are coming in, even some of the guys on the mediums as well. Looks like Goblin's making his way in. Going on to another set of medium tyres, which should last until the end of the race. Well, they will last until the end of the race. Curtis onto another set of softs. Begins to consider will Blaze pit, or will he choose to stay out? Look, if he tries to run those mediums at the end of the race, that will have done on those mediums. Harris on those hard tyres, in reality those should last until the end of the race, so he may have put himself in a really good position here. He's almost within DRS range of BJ. It won't be enough this time, but perhaps with the next zone he could have a really good shot. Lap 21 begins up front. Towards turn 1, it's not enough for the time being. But he was definitely closing in over the course of those last couple of laps. The gap going back up now to just under 1.5 seconds. Blaze continues to stretch its advantage now. It's almost 6 seconds. Curtis has gone on a late charge here with those soft tyres. Will it be enough to propel him back up into the points? Luigi's now trying to make his way around Tinky. Only one Alpine left in this thing. Luigi backing out. It's still trying to stay there. Oh, they came very close to contact. The Ferrari still trying to stay close. He's going to have DRS. A good exit could see him take P7. Out the corner they come. Luigi closing in ever so slightly. Yellow flag in sector 2. I do believe that's Dan in the AlphaTauri. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he made a mistake of some kind. He was right up there in the barriers, almost not actually hitting them, but still right there with the barriers. Lucky still holding on to 4th place. Zach Sherman, who was way back at the back of the pack, around the start, midway through the race. He's now closing in, trying to take P4. He's definitely an up and down debut so far. He's looking to the left hand side against turn 1, trying to go around the outside. Lucky locked up slightly. One of the best of exits from Zach there. Alvar looking around, As Curtis says, the fastest lap, 1 minute 28.4. He's on the charge. Luigi's running into the pits. Well, he wasn't in the pits. He's making changes now to a set of soft tyres. I know he's going to try and make one last charge over the last 8 laps or so. Zach right there with Lucky here. It's going to be tight. With DRS, the Aston Martin driver could definitely pull that move off. I see. There's no doubt in my mind that he'll be able to do so. Keeping our eye on the battle between the Haas and the Aston Martin. Going to ride on board with Zach down the straight. Yellow flag here, and that's Dan, who may have just spun out there. He's got himself going again. Back to this fight. The Aston Martin not close enough to go for it. Going through Sector 2, or the end of Sector 2, and towards the start of Sector 3. Lap 23 begins, just 7 more laps to go. Zach has 7 more laps now. He makes it over the line to try and take P4. Alvar's no concern behind, but in comes Zach into the pits. Alvar follows him in. He stays out. That'll show him up to P5. Is anyone else looking to come in? Scroll through the field here. No one looking like they're going to pit. Yep, it looks like everyone's staying out. Owner's staying out for the time being. So these might be the tyres we see to the end of the race. Blaze is a 7.5 second advantage. He'd definitely lose his chance to win the race, but he might be able to close in. I mean, Paris is still closing in on BJ, even with those hard tyres on, which have gone 3 more laps than BJ's warm mediums. He's trying to get within DRS range. He's been saving his DRS to a degree. He had about 40% of it left going onto the straight. Almost there within a second. There it is. That is the gap he's been looking for this whole time. Through the right-hander. Start of Sector 3. Short of a mistake, Blaze has this one sewn up with 6 laps to go. Short of a mistake or a safety car. Anything can still happen later on. Paris has fallen out of DRS range once again. Down the main straight they come once again. Start lap number 24. Through turn 1. Alvarez another 3-second time penalty. Websy is within a second of Alex in the Aston Martin, but doesn't have enough. But he has the DRS. He's closing in. Could be seeing a battle for 6th in just a moment here. If Websy gets enough DRS or gets enough a pull from the DRS, he'll be able to take. He'll be within a shot of taking 6th place. Blaze now pushed the advantage up to a total of 8 seconds. It was 8 a moment ago when I last looked. Websy's still right there behind Alex. So Blazers continue to stretch the advantage here, and like I say, short of a safety car or a mistake from him or anything like that, I doubt he'll lose this race. The battle for the rest of the places on the rostrum, it does look that those places still look all but secure. Short of anything going wrong between these two Williams cars, it will help them take the initial lead in the Constructors' Championship, I have no doubt. But the position, the order in which they come home, could still change. Will Paris sacrifice his chance of finishing second for the good of the Constructors' title, or the start of the Constructors' title race, or will he try and take P2? It's the season opener. No one's really thinking about the championship just yet. But it would be a very good start. We look like South Blaze will be heading that championship charge. In the way of Alfa Romeo. His teammate Fergus down in 12th place. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That's the Ferrari of Luigi Sven has gone round. He's got stuff going again. Paris almost within half a second now. This will get very tight as we get lap number 26. 4 laps left to go. Blaze still in control. The DRS now opening up for Paris for the first time in many laps. He's on the chase. And the battle that began so very early on in this race begins again. BJ weaving all over the track trying to break the toe. Through turn 1. If anything, the BJ's just lost more time. Paris right down the back of him. The DRS will open up once again. There goes the flap on the rear wing. Yellow flag 6-2 is Luigi again in the Ferrari. Paris looking outside, takes away second place. BJ essentially moved over to let him through. But it's not over yet though. Could we still see a late battle for this second spot? Blaze's advantage almost at 10 seconds now. Nothing can stop him now. The only challenge they had potentially coming was Pope moving up through the pack. But of course he spun out and put into his race around 12 laps ago. Or around 10 laps ago. I'm not entirely sure what lap it was he crashed out. But 3 laps to go now. 3 laps. Just to hold on. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That's Dan. Spun out once again. It's getting to the point where if this keeps happening, there's a chance that Blaze might actually be able to catch him. BJ has DRS on Paris on the way out towards turn 1. He'll be lining up and moving to turn 4. Here it comes now. The gap almost just over half a second here. Nice and some good control from BJ. Still holding on to it. Another DRS zone incoming. Paris went a bit wide there. This could be BJ's chance. Down the straight they come. Another yellow flag in Sector 1. Alvar's out. That brings us down to 17 runners. And in the same place where Pope retired as well. Right then, BJ could have another very good chance here as he makes his way back down the main straight. 2 more laps to go. He's got 2 more. He got 2 full circuits to this Bahrain track in order to have a go to take back second place. He might have a good chance to turn 1 though. First opportunity. He's making his way through. Flew through there. And hang on a minute. And that's Blaze who spun out in the Alfa Romeo. And so that this race could be thrown back into chaos again. Blaze is it's taking his while to get back up to speed. BJ is quickly catching him. We could have a late finish for the record books here. Here comes BJ and Paris now. They know what's on the line. They could try and take victory. BJ on those fresher tyres. He's within DRS range. Blaze needs part his lead once again, but BJ closing in. And this could be a late race turnaround for the record books. Here comes the Alfa Romeo, followed closely by the 2 Williams pair. This one's going to get very, very tight. If you just joined us, don't go anywhere. This could be a very exciting finish. It's going to be DRS for BJ, DRS for Paris as well, making their way through Sector 2. Blaze has no help. BJ closing in now with the DRS, trying to get that gap down to within about half a second. He could take a very good chance at the lead if he can get close enough. He's got a lap and a half. What became a battle for second place between the 2 Williams drivers, the last 2 seats on the rostrum, and that could be the top spot here as Ethan spins out in the Mercedes. Whether he's going to keep going again, But here we go then. It's now 3 cars in with a chance the race victory. Is separated by just about a second. They're all going to have DRS apart from Blaze. Both Williams cars will be a really good advantage here. No penalties either. This is it, the last lap of the race. BJ's got a couple more shots. He's got 3 great chances to try and take the top spot away. He's closing in. Does he make the way down towards turn 1 for the final time? Blaze locks up. He does another time. He's done that today. Paris looking around, trying to go around the outside of his teammate. Not going to do it. BJ is the main, has the biggest chance of taking the lead away. Down the straight they come. BJ closing in. He's had to get a very good exit in a couple of corners. Blaze once again locks up. Is the pressure getting to him in the cockpit of the Alfa Romeo? He's getting away slightly, but it's still 0.3 seconds the gap, almost 0.4. Paris just 0.2 behind BJ. This was going to get very, very tight as we make our way through. Once again, another lock-up. More tyre smoke coming from those medium tyres who've been pushed for 18 laps. They're screaming for a break at this point. Here they come now. BJ's going to need a very good exit here to have a chance. Is it enough? He gets away with the DRS. Paris is close to him. Here comes the two Williams machines. I think Blaze might have enough to hold on here. Unless BJ goes for a late move. And he went for the brakes too late. And that may allow Blaze to get away a bit more. BJ looking around, trying to gain some more time here. Running a bit of an alternate line, but may go a bit wider in the process. He's still right there with him. The general toe might be all he needs to try and get past here. Just one more corner from home, and Paris might try and go for second here. So it'll come down to this. A decent toe from BJ. Self defends the inside, going into the last corner. I think Blaze might be able to hold on here, but BJ's right with him. He doesn't get the exit he wants. He's loose the tyres a bit, and it's going to be Self Blaze in a thrilling finish who takes home the first victory of Season 12. That was incredible stuff. What a finish to the race. They come across the line 1, 2, and 3 as Lucky comes through to take P4 for Haas. I'm sure, completely unaware of all the drama going on in front of him. Alex P5. Curtis comes home in P6. Websy's retired in the last corner by the looks of it. Tinky 7th. JB, he falls back. Khaled 8th. Zach Sherman 9th. And Lycon in 10th. But what a finish. Self Blaze made that mistake. He made up for it. What a finish. Great race from everyone tonight. It's been a very enjoyable race for me to watch. I hope you've enjoyed watching it too. And what a finish they've just given us there. Great stuff. So it is South Blaze, the lifting of the finger, the first race win of the season going his way. So there it is, the podium. Victory then for South Blaze. Great stuff then. Absolutely amazing. Williams take the lead in the Constructors' Championship, but in the Drivers' Championship it is South Blaze who takes home the first victory of the brand new season. And just what we're trying to see if we can get a couple words from the winner himself. So it's Blaze who wins the race, followed by BJ in second, Paris third, Lucky fourth, Alex in fifth, Curtis sixth, Tinky seventh, PJ eighth, Zach in ninth, and Lycon in 10th. So I hope you've enjoyed this first race, and we'll see if we can get a few words from the man himself in just a moment. I was waiting to see here if we can get a few words from our race winner. Alright, well, it doesn't look like we're going to get any questions from Blaze, so we will end the stream here. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I really did. That finish was quite incredible. Hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure to join us in the next couple of races, because we're going to try and cover as many races as we can throughout the season, hopefully all 20 of them. So then, thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you in the next stream.